Hey, it's Keith Townsend from the CTOadvisor.com, and you're joining us for another CTO Daily Dose from the show floor. Actually, we're not the show floor. We're in the registration area of the Cincinnati VMUG, the VMware user group. And I have a couple of more guests on. One I'm really excited about, Austin. Austin, this is your first VMUG event, right?
Exactly.
This is, we'll get into it, but this is kind of like one of your first technology events.
Really is, yeah.
So I'm excited to get your input from that. And then Stephen from VMware. Stephen, can you go ahead and introduce yourself and your role?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Stephen Austin. I'm a NSX commercial account executive, so I cover mid-market accounts across 7 states throughout the Ohio Valley.
All right, so Austin, we're going to pick on you a little bit because one, this is your first event, and two, you're not a technologist by training. So what brought you to VMUG?
VMUG, I've been going back and forth with Stephen here for a while now. VMware has actually been something I've been following as long as I've known him, and became very intrigued in the company and what they have and how fast they grow. Something I'm really motivated by is growth, and nothing better to choose than following VMware.
So you're also, as I understand, Steve tells me that you're in line, you're interviewing next week for a role at VMware?
Yeah, I'm interviewing for the Sales Academy position that they have down in Austin, Texas. Starts next year in July.
So Sales Academy, what is that exactly? Is it like a university, a school? Is it a job?
Yeah, so it's like VMware's version of a university, kind of going in and giving you an overview and teaching you about the products, finding what your niche is within what they have to offer, and rolling that position into a inside sales position.
So, I mean, we're in Cincinnati. Cincinnati has a lot of Fortune 500 companies. You have a lot of different industries that you can choose to go into. You know, me and Stephen can talk all day about NSX and the power of microsegmentation and how that brings to you. What specifically about this community drove you into the desire to work for a company like VMware?
So I've been very technology-based my entire life, going into it. I've always been intrigued and interested in everything in technology. I've been a full-time student in college, so working 30, 40 hours a week while taking 15 to 18 credit hours. On top of that, I've been on the executive board of the Sales Leadership Club at the University of Cincinnati, and competing in competitions for the sales varsity team to really improve my skills. But knowing the intensity and the extent of this, not just this community, but VMware in general, I wanted to get my foot in the door with a very technical, advanced company like surrounding data pipelines, everything like that, and get myself more knowledgeable of the maybe closer to VMware, more knowledgeable of data engineering, data science, and everything like that. So I actually worked for a year and a half to build up my resume, and stayed persistent in getting a job to where I work now at Astronomer, where we help provide pre-engineered data pipelines to help get analytics from one source of destination to another safely and securely. Kind of helping to build off of that to hopefully roll into VMware one day.
So, Steve, let's talk about some of the excitement going on at VMware, specifically around NSX.
Yep.
So, VMware's built the NSX team to be incredibly large. I remember just a couple of short years ago, there was only a handful of maybe 4 or 5 guys that covered the entire nation. What is your kind of geographic region for covering NSX? What is that?
Yeah, so Keith, right now I cover what we call Ohio Valley. Mm-hmm. So I'm a commercial rep. So we've got healthcare, enterprise, commercial, and SLED. And so then we also are a federal group. And so I have roughly 7 states. So from Western PA, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, and the greater Nashville, Western Tennessee area.
So and as I mentioned before, there's an awful lot of Fortune 500s. People don't really get a pretty good indication. You know, you think of Cincinnati, you think of like central Kentucky, Ohio, this area. You're like, the bourbon's good.
Bourbon's great.
but from a business perspective, Fortune 500, healthcare and insurance agencies right out of this region. What's the excitement around NSX? Is it mainly for microsegmentation? Right. Is it for network automation? What are companies contacting you guys for?
Yeah, so mostly what we're seeing is initially one of the biggest use cases for NSX when we took it to market surrounded microsegmentation. What I'm seeing more and more is that any customer has any type of disaster recovery requirements or needs. What I'm seeing now is more of the application continuity, so that now there's active, so that customers don't have to re-IP workloads, make DNS changes, if the workload moves from one data center to the other.
Okay, so the making basically the data center, I wrote about this, the data center portal. So it doesn't matter where your data center is at. We've heard this message at VMware that it can be AWS, one of the VMC cloud partners, or on-prem. The concept of your network is no longer a barrier, but now an enabler to moving your data center.
That's correct. One of the things we've seen too is it now allows customers to set one security policy. So regardless of where that workload resides, that you have one policy in effect.
Yeah, the security across multiple clouds is most definitely a problem. How AWS does microsegmentation versus how Azure does it versus how a rack-based co-located cloud does it is completely different. NSX, I like to call it cloud glue. It gives you the ability to move your security operations from one solution to another. So as Austin is going into his interview next week, any advice to him to kind of get a step up before the competition?
I'm really encouraging him to really try to align with the network and security business unit. Not just because I'm in the business unit, but I honestly think that that's where we're going to see tremendous growth, at VMware.
So Amy, Dom, Delfino, if you're listening, Austin's a great kid. I'll even tweet this video to him to give you kind of an unofficial plug. Until then, do you guys have social media presences on that people can follow you on?
Sure, you can follow me at Route Packets.
I like that. Route Packets is pretty good.
Yeah.
Very active on LinkedIn. It's just Austin Fry, last name spelled F-R-E-Y.
All right, and you can follow me, of course, on the web, thectoadvisor.com, where you can subscribe to the podcast and see these CTO Daily Dose videos in one setting or on YouTube. And of course, you can subscribe to me on Twitter or follow me on Twitter at CTO Advisor. Talk to you guys next CTO Daily Dose.